is it true that the majority of the supplements that you buy in stores have 0% of the ingredients that you're hoping to have in your herb or supplement? We're going to talk about the research. Hey everybody, Chad Cruiser here with Health and Homestead. Some of the herbs and natural remedies have actually shown to be useless, but others, on the other hand, are actually shown to be more beneficial than drug medication in head-to-head studies in scientific journals. So in order to find out what's true, we want to look at the research, and that's what we do at Health and Homestead. So if you're interested in learning more about the research on natural remedies that have been studied head-to-head with drug medication, click the subscribe button and we will look at that. But we want to look at what's going on. Maybe you read the article some time ago that came out that said in New York State, the Attorney General actually showed that they studied from 4 of the major corporations like Walmart, GNC, Target, and also Walgreens. They looked at some of the supplements, and as they did DNA research, what they found is that nearly 80% of them that had, a certain supplement had 0% of the herb that it specified on the cover. Now, that's not good news. So that could potentially mean that 80% of the time when you go on Amazon or you go to your local Walmart or your drugstore or wherever, and you buy some kind of supplement that you think is beneficial, you think is good for your health, you find out that maybe 80% of them have nothing in it that you're actually trying to get. And then you find out what they actually do have in it. The research showed is they had things like asparagus and radishes. Nothing wrong with radishes, nothing wrong with asparagus, but I'll bet you didn't pay $50 for a bottle of radishes. At least you shouldn't have, right? But is this actually true? Well, here's the thing. Other researchers have chimed in and they said, listen, actually when you look at the methodology that was used in this particular study, what they were doing is they were looking at certain sequences of genes, and they were saying, hey, we were looking for these certain sequences of genes, and we found in nearly 80% of the trial of these different supplements or these different herbs that they had 0% of them. But the other researchers said, hey, hold on a moment. We need to look at what the methodology that you use, and they say, listen, some of the methods to actually extract the herb could be using oil, and they could actually make it so that you wouldn't find any of the DNA in it. Also, some of them are, obviously many of them are desiccated or dried, and as a result, in certain methods of production or processing, many of these herbs are very processed. They can be so processed that it actually may destroy the information in the genetic code, so they wouldn't find the sequence that they're actually looking for. So it's possible. They went on to say, hey, one of the researchers said, look, I've done a study similar to this, specifically looking at ginkgo biloba, and I found that over 80% of them, the brands that I tested, actually did have some of it in there, but some of them didn't, and hey, there still is a number of them that don't. And but then those around the Attorney General of the state of New York said, hey, we also, this research somewhat correlates with research that was done at the University of Guelph in Canada that showed that somewhere between 50 to 60% of herbs and these kind of supplements have, once again, 0% of what they claim on the cover of the package. So the reality is it is possible that many herbs don't actually have, or many supplements that you buy have maybe 0 of what you're actually hoping to have. So there's 2 things that I know of that we can do about it. Number 1, and that's what we do at Health and Homestead, is that we want to be able to be as sustainable as possible. We want to be able to grow not only our own food as much as possible, but we also want to be able to grow our own medicine. And one of the ways you could do that is you can actually grow it on your own property. The other thing you can do is you can actually harvest wild herbs. Like here I was harvesting this herb that has been shown in head-to-head research studies to be just as beneficial at fighting depression as a leading drug medication. And I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can see that totally free, just free on our YouTube channel if you want to see that. But the second way, other than growing it, oh, and by the way, growing it in a 3 by 3 foot area or a 4 by 4 foot area, if you were growing one herb in that little area, multiple plants, many of the herbs, you could grow all of that particular herb that you need for an entire year in a tiny little place. So even if you lived in the city, you could grow much of what you need or much of what you hope to have. Secondarily, what else could you do? There are also websites and corporations that actually actually do testing on supplements. So they'll go around to the different corporations that produce various different supplements, and they'll test them, and they'll report on what companies are legitimate and what companies have been shown to be illegitimate. So you can look up those websites. Some of them ask you to pay money to find out, and others you may find out for free. But check that out, and if you like this video, you'd like to learn more about health and homesteading, we give you the ancient art of homesteading with a scientific twist. And if you want to learn more about it, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day.